Hello everybody and welcome back to another Minecraft building video. My name is biglyShronk and today is a very special build video actually because today we will be building my childhood home in real life childhood home. Now I won't be giving any details of course because I don't want to dox my family, but I think this will be a lot of fun. So we got this little platform here and I think we're just going to start off by gathering some birch. It is a very simple house. Only a two-story lovely abode, and I think, man, it's been a while since I've even thought about building something like this. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. It will be a lot of fun. I gotta plan this out pretty neatly, so I think, start off with the stairs. We'll do some smooth sandstone because it is concrete. I think that'll do as far as that goes. Maybe a little bit over here. I'm thinking that's good. Maybe a bit more on the side as well, like that. Okay. And now we're going to do the foundation here. Which again, it's not a big house. My childhood home was not a very big one. But it was very nice. 7. I'm saying was as if it doesn't exist anymore. It still exists. 7 will do. Maybe 8. Now we'll go... It's all foundationally based. Okay, that might work. That might work. And now, I'll break that up. The house is mainly a, lighter. It used to be yellow. My house, funny enough, used to be a bright yellow. And now they painted it this tan color, this very light tan. But the floor, the wooden boards are still there. So the best one definitely 100% is birch. All right, so far I'm liking it so far. And we're just gonna do the outside right now temporarily. And I think here is where boom, right? Boom. I think that might be perfect. I think there was another one in the middle, actually. I'm not too sure. If I'm trying to remember correctly here. Maybe something like that. Yeah, I remember now. Funny enough, I'm using absolutely no reference photos because only doing this based on memory. I mean, memory should serve correctly. I mean, I've been living here for I lived in this house for like 12 years. I think I'll take this out and make it a bit smaller just because I know the windows were very evenly spaced out. Perfect. Beautiful. Now, the structure of the house was a rather crammed. Again, it was a very small house, but it's not a bad thing necessarily. We had the other window here, but it was like a smaller window. I'm gonna jut it out like that. Actually, there was a bit of space in between like that. And then the wall right here. Yeah, perfect. Same thing with the kitchen. It kind of matched a little bit. There was like the sink and all that over there. But the window was actually above the... It was a smaller window above the sink. Something like that. And then over here was the door to the outside. We had an outside porch. A nice little side porch deal. Gonna shape it up the rest of the way. I actually lied. I got the structure all wrong. Funny enough. Same structure matches that. And then this window here matches that. And then there was another window right here. And structure of the house. Very, very different. I think this area, this is a bedroom. And they had 2 windows just like that. But this, I remember this wall being pretty bare, pretty vacant, because this is where the staircase to the upstairs went. And it wasn't a very tall house too, so this is about the size of the first floor. So I'll finish the first floor now before even continuing with the rest of the area. We did have this like walkway in between the kitchen and the living room, and this is where like we had a door here, and this was the staircase into the bedrooms actually. But I made it a bit wide, so I think I'm gonna stock it up like that. I think that will do. The walls here were a very like neutral tone, like a white terracotta, I want to say. Something like this. Again, very, very simple. If my memory serves correctly, working out all of the different rooms here, I might have to expand this actually quite a bit. I completely forgot about another like window. We'll work with what we got. I'm trying to keep to the feel of the house itself. We had something like this. I think I'm gonna start with the floorboards first. So we did have like there's a brown carpet in the living room here. And the living room will only stick to about there. Okay. Because the next wall that kind of opened up was this bedroom here. This was a very small walkway, admittedly. It was a very small walkway. Then a door here. No, sorry, a door here. Very thin, very narrow walkway. I'm gonna pull this back a little bit, actually. Might pull that back just again so we can get a bit more of room in this, because this is the bathroom. This was the bathroom right here. It was a rather narrow bathroom, though. I'm thinking it was more like this. Yeah, that's more like it. That is definitely much more like it. Like that. And then there's our little window. So the carpet did kind of follow out to about here, and this was the other bedroom. And it went to about here. Okay. So then the other wall would go right here. And temporarily using just the other... Yep, perfect. I might change the wall up a little bit because I'm not too sure if this is the good or correct wall. We might change it up. We might change up the wall a little bit here. Do some natural, because it wasn't so much like a flesh tone. It was more like a muted... Like, I mean, it's sandstone might be the best one to use, or maybe even end stone, I want to say. Let's see what the natural blocks have. We might have to use, ooh, maybe stripped birch. Actually, stripped birch. Nah, no, that matches the wall too much. Let's do brown mushroom block. I think that more fit the wall. Yeah. That's perfect. This is more of the tone of the wall anyway. It was not like really a flesh tone. And I realized earlier in the video I misspoke. Talking about how long I've lived in the house. I lived in this house for 17 years. And that's when I ended up moving out. Okay, that... the wall still doesn't really match. Which is very unfortunate. But that's okay. So the kitchen had a tile, so I'm going to use the glazed terracotta. It was kind of this. Like, not the same pattern, but they have squares. Very similar to this. So this is the closest kind of thing to a design that I could get. Like that. No, maybe like that. That, and then that. There we go. Nope. Perfect. All right, kinda works like that. Kinda worked out. This is where we had our porch. Got a side porch. That actually led all the way out to there. But I'm not feeling these walls again, I'm not gonna lie. Not a big fan of the wall. Take a look at these stairs here. I have to up this just a little bit. Just for the lore. I think, yeah, it's going to be some slight inaccuracy with the house itself. This texture, oh man, this is going to be annoying, but I have a feeling that this texture here is the best. Gosh, I just don't know about this wall. I might bite the bullet and say it's a stripped oak. Or like a stripped birch. Or I could do something else. The thing is, the walls were colored, like they were painted, so it's hard to tell. Might just do this gray terracotta. Still not married to the idea. No, I'm not. Let's do... Jeez Louise. You know, we might have to bite the bullet and just stick to the flesh tone wall. Because at its accuracy, this is it. Like, this is the most accurate wall we have. That's just gonna have to deal with that unless we move the stairwell back a little bit. Because I mean, to be honest, the spot wasn't that open, so might as well do something like this, and then keep this up like that. So then we have boom, boom, boom. Oh, get that out of here. So it's still kind of there, but not as bad. We could just add the ceiling like that. And that'll be the entryway into the closet and the 2 bedrooms. Like that. Because there was a closet up here, which is very neat. I mean, truth be told, also, the ceilings were not that tall either. Like, they were about this. They met about right here. All right. Let me fix this wall now. Now this wall was just a wood floor. This was just a hardwood floor in here. Same thing with both bedrooms up here, actually. They were turned into just hardwood floors. Again, perfectly normal, perfectly fine. But these rooms actually kind of bled into the interesting enough. Man, the structure... Okay, so the house will be a bit disproportional to what actually the room looks like. We'll have facade. It'll be through the power of facade. But yet again, we have the walls being put in. Nothing too exciting there. But yes, through the power of facade. This was a closet. And then these top bedrooms were the same size. So that's why it's going to be a bit tricky to do something here with this. Like, there was a lot of empty space, but the roof kind of, like, the roof comes in. So, like, this might be it. Like, this is probably going to be the best depiction of the bedroom, honestly. And we'll do the facade of, like, taking it inward, and because there were really no windows facing out that way. Again, I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm talking about the house in the past tense as if it didn't exist, but yeah. Here's where it gets a bit tricky, right? And here's how we might have to break up these blocks a bit and make this a bit wider. So maybe it is this size. Maybe this is the correct size of everything. We're gonna build the wall up a bit more, just so we have something there. We're gonna build the wall around this area as well. I don't know what the plan is. Okay. And then the birch, which we're just going to build up like this for now. We do have a chimney too. Like there is a chimney that exists as well. All right. Here's what we got so far. So here's something as well. So the house has a green door because they painted it that way. But we don't have green doors, but they did have windows. So the best depiction is the oak door here. And it opened this way going in. Okay, it opened like that. And then each other door, again, we're just going to use a dark oak door because that's what looks the most homely. There was a door in here, but because I can't really walk up these stairs without that door there, we're going to pretend this... There was no door, actually. They took out the door. Oh my gosh. I forgot about that. They took out the door. All right, we're going to do some... I think this was like a tile floor. It was a tile-like floor, so I think this is the best depiction there. Okay. Bathroom. For accuracy. We actually need to go here for accuracy. All right. The kitchen. Oh, I forgot about there's a door here that leads into the basement, but this will be a facade door, okay? Facade. Same situation. Dark oak door, facade. Bedrooms up here. Dark oak door, facade. All right, facade. Closet, boom, facade. It was honestly, it was this tight. It genuinely was this tight back here. All right, the bedrooms did have one window as well, each on the side here. It was kind of offset, if I remember it. It was relatively offset. Something like that. Again, it all depends on how big the... It all depends on how big the roof will be. Because it was an A-frame roof, but like this way. And another thing about the roof is it was red. So, the only the darkest red we have, it was a very dark maroon, is the nether brick stairs, which I hate to say, admittedly, it is an ugly block, okay? But for lore accuracy, it has to be this. There was a little bit of an awning across the top here. It was a little bit. Something like this. But again, it was all the same. I will be adding more detail just for the sake of the build itself. So I'll do this. Again. And I do believe I will be changing, again, yes, I will be changing it ever so slightly just to keep up with, just to have more detail to the house itself. But yeah, red roof, red roof, very, very red roof. Like the house did not have like this offset like out. But like I said before, it's very necessary that I put it there for the sake of extra detail, really. Like this closet here might change sizes, which it was a very small closet up at the top as well. So I'm not worried about it too much. But it looks like we'll actually be in pretty good shape as far as the roof size and the roof. The way it kind of arches up like this. It doesn't look like it'll be a problem. I say with such confidence. Because of this. Because of this right here. I might, if this is the case, I might, the house did have a very, like, kind of small portion, and, like, the roof, the ceiling of this house and the top bedrooms did have, like, a curvature to it because it was where the roof was. So something like that. Again, little offset with the windows. It is, I believe. It's gonna be very embarrassing if that's not actually accurate to the house itself. Again, 17 years living there. We're just gonna bring up the roof all the way, and we're gonna see how tall that looks and how tall that takes us. Oops, there we go. Not bad, actually. That's not bad at all. If memory serves, my family did want to try to paint the roof, or they tried to get something done with the roof that allowed it not to be red. Because I gotta be honest, red and tan with the green door. Ooh-wee. It's a great design. Perfecto. Perfecto. Okay. And you know, it's funny as well. The roof, like, it's tall like this, but the ceilings in the bedrooms are not that tall. Surprisingly enough. Like, it was kind of like this, right? And I kid you not, just for the sake of not having to drive myself crazy, I'm going to put it at 3 blocks tall. But the ceiling, unironically, is about this. Like, if I jumped, it'd be crazy. So just for accuracy and just so I don't lose my marbles, we're going to do this for the ceiling. And granted, the ceiling was not this, like, crazily arced like this. But, again, like I said, for accuracy. For accuracy. This, for a fact, was. I'm keeping this super short. Because that's how it was. Perfect, perfect, perfect. It was a very symmetrical house, I will say. As far as, like, looking at it like this. Very symmetrical, very pretty. I don't believe there was... Oh, I might have to... I'm actually not going to be doing that. At first, I was contemplating just bringing this up one more block, but I feel like it would have completely janked up the look of the house itself. Don't let me forget, we do have windows to build here as well. And now I'm drawing a complete blank on the side of the roof. Oh, no. I know. I remember. so we had this, like, awning. That was like this. Off the side like that. I do believe it was this tall. Yes, it was. But this window led right into this, like, side of the roof. We didn't have that on this side of the house, though. Because this side only had just a little bit of something. There. Perfect. It wasn't... It was kind of in the middle of the room. But I need room for a closet right here, so... And this one was a little bit offset this way. So it is a little bit fun how they kind of all match. The closet was over here on this room. And then the closet was over here in this room. Alright, let's finish up putting, just to keep accuracy. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Perfect. And gotta finish the roof. I keep forgetting about the roof. If I had Axiom, this would be much easier. A lot of my friends are trying to get me to get Axiom. Different roof, okay. Gotta keep with the accuracy. The roof. The entire roof is just going to be this wood because just for continuity. Not accuracy. It's not entirely accurate to the house. But just to avoid, you know, having the floorboards be several different colors as well. And this is just to save on time. I'm making this very thick. It's very, oh my goodness, very, very thick. But it works. Kind of looked like that. Maybe like that. Yeah. If I could do a bit more, I do. Perfect. Just like that. Just like that. But holy moly, is that dark. It's to keep the structural integrity. I'm adding the insulation. I'm just kidding. This just allows me to do this really fast. Instead of having to, like, worry about trying to kind of guide through the sides. This was like a weird thing. There was like a weird gray vent in this area. We're just gonna... There. Perfect. All right, there's that. There is that. Now we just gotta decorate it a little more. I'm going to use some white stained glass with some regular glass panes, just to give it a shine effect. Very similar to the shine effect I gave the lighthouse over there. Like that. Boom. This one I'm just going to do one like that. Okay, not too bad, not too bad. I was testing something out just there, trying to figure out what looks good. So we did have these darker support beams coming up like that on the house there. Same thing with this. On the awning, we had these big support beams coming down like that. Then we had some stairs, of course. I will add this door also had a window. Actually, yeah. So we'll do that one. And this one opened like this. All right, perfect. We forgot about this window here. And did I forget about the other side? Yes, I did. All right. One really quickly thing I want to do is there was like a small chimney. I'm drawing a blank, admittedly drawing quite a blank on like if it was like a brick sided chimney or if it was like a regular sort of, like I genuinely can't remember, but it had like this weird shape to it. And it didn't sit very tall. If I remember, it was bricks. Yes, okay. I remember now. And again, it didn't sit very tall. But if we took the decorated pot and a stone slab, that's kind of what it looked like. Maybe a bit lower, but it was very flush with the side of the house. All right. One more thing I want to do with the mangrove wood, actually, is build... We did have this, like, cellar door that was, like... That was a lot. Like, it was loud. It was crazy. We had this cellar, like... kind of came down a little bit more, so maybe we'll do something like this instead. Yeah, that looks like a cellar door. Yeah, we'll add buttons to it for the handles. There we go. Real door now. Now up next for the exterior still, we did have a garden area with these little like walkways here. So like across here was this walkway, and we had mulch like that. And this is where like we had like our like potted plants and stuff like that. So I think for that I'm gonna use Podzol for mulch. Which isn't the most mulchy block, but maybe soul soil will actually... Soul soil would do better as a mulchy block. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Mulchy block, soul soil. Very cool. And this did have a couple of plants in it. Now, can I place things? I forgot if I don't remember if I can place. We're going to try out some azalea trees. No, we can't. Okay. So we might have to stick with the podzol, actually. Unfortunately. So I did just waste a bunch of time doing all that. Okay, now I think I can do some, like, beautifully, naturally potted plants. Do some of these wildflowers, some of these, and maybe an azalea tree or two. And just to make it look nice and pretty. That for that, and then maybe one right there. We'll do one right there, then one right there, and then another one right there. And then here's where we'll add like little patches of the like orchids and like the red tulips. Maybe some wildflowers right here. And then we have the lily of the valley over here. We'll do some more lilies right there. This one could use some more color, so we're going to do that and that. There we go. I think we could add a bit more color here with the red tulips there. A patch of red tulips. Nice. All right. Interesting. Very nice. Now, again, we will do the smooth stone, or sorry, smooth sandstone. And we're going to have ourselves a little sidewalk here. We did have a sidewalk that looped around, again, for accuracy. I'm so used to, like, again, Minecraft building where this is, like, got to be super accurate and, like, super thick, I mean. Sorry, not accurate, but super thick. But this was about as the size of the sidewalk here. It was just like this. It curved around just like that. And then across the side, I don't have enough room to do the driveway, which is fine, which is perfectly fine. But now we can do the interior. And we'll start off with the kitchen here. We'll do the refrigerator, which honestly, we're going to keep it very basic. We're not going to do all the redstone functionalities, of course. But we did have... Where's that iron door? Boom, boom, boom. Perfect. Oh, you know what would actually be better than the iron door now that we have it? The pale oak door. Yeah. That looks nice. All right, so we did have the countertop here, which I think I'm going to just use this cyan terracotta for. We did have a sink right here, so I'm actually going to do some tough stairs for that. And there's a sink with the window. And then honestly, furnace for the oven. Did have this lovely tabletop, which I think I'm just going to do the regular... It was a dark table. But I think for... Just for the fun of it, we're going to do some of the classic stuff like that. And the way this was lit up, I think we're just going to do sea lanterns for every single light. These had like this, like the long bar light. This one had just like a single ceiling light with a fan. Bedroom here, again, just single light. Same thing here, single light. Like every house had every room had a single light. And they had a light up here. This one had a light up there. But for the sake of like not hitting our heads, we're going to put it like that. Yes. All right, so kitchen is done. Kitchen is done. I think I'm going to make the table a bit bigger, actually. One last time there. Boom. Perfect. Dining room table. All right, now we have the living room, which what's a nice comfy, the sofa is, forever will be. Gosh, I can't believe I'm drawing a blank right now. I think it was brown. I think it was brown. So we're going to do, there's a love seat right here. And then an entire, the love seat's here, and then the entire sofa's right there. But they're all the same, so it's okay. We do have a very short table, which I think I'm going to actually use some slabs for that. I think the tough bricks, just to add that texture there. I'm going to use some deep slate for the TV stand. All right. And they had like a china cabinet here, but for the sake of continuity and just for the sake of easy to build, just going to put a tall bookshelf right here. Like that. And then the TV was right here, and they had like a little table right there as well, which I'm going to put there. It was a short little table right there. Beautiful, beautiful, perfect. Won't go too in depth with the other things here, but they did have, there was a closet right here. Again, we'll do the dark oak door there. Oh, this is best song. Oops. Closet there. I'm not planning on going into too crazy amount of detail as far as this, like, you know, the bedrooms go, because, you know, bedrooms change a lot, and I also don't know how my family would feel about me making very detailed renditions of bedrooms. So we're just gonna stick to classic we're gonna do bookshelves. All right, we're gonna do bookshelves and beds in a vast majority of the vast majority of the bedrooms here. Again, boom, boom. Bookshelf. Okay, just for the sake of, again, I don't know how my family would feel. Like, this is a pretty accurate representation of the living room, so I don't want them to get weirded out. This bed was, I believe, like this. They had a bookshelf. Another bookshelf. They had a closet. Their closet was right like this. This one, the closet was over on this wall instead. So something like that. I'll say perfect. Maybe I will jut it out a bit more. Maybe not, actually. I changed my mind. Bedroom's there, bedroom there. Boom, 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 boom. For the sake of space, now this isn't entirely accurate. But actually, I'm going to knock this out one more. So yeah, I'm going to keep it like that. Then I'm going to knock this back one more as well. So there we go. Got a bookshelf. Boom, boom. Oops. Boom, boom, boom. Perfect. It's beautiful. And that's honestly really it. Oh, they did have these lawn chairs, or these like lounge chairs. They weren't long chairs, they were lounge chairs. But they sat on either end of the porch on the side here. But again, for just the sake of the size, I'm going to put them over here instead. Nice. Perfect. Beautiful. Beautiful. But folks, there we have it. This is my childhood home. I have pretty accurate representation, if I do say so myself, with the tan walls, with the very dark red roof. We couldn't do the green door, unfortunately, but that is a-okay. Going around here, again, pretty accurate. Each of these windows led into a different room. I forgot about the bathroom really quickly, but that's okay. We're just going to put a simple door in the way instead. Loop back around. Oh, jeez, I forgot the door's all the way over here as well. And boom. Perfect. All right. There was a lot of artwork on the walls here, but again, a lot of the artwork doesn't match, and it wouldn't work well with the house. But let me know what you guys think, especially, hey, my family. If you ever watch this video, let me know how I did in the comments down below. But with that being said, you guys have a fantastic rest of your day, and be safe out there.